G'day, and welcome back to that new hobby high. Now, today is going to be, I guess, some questions about the game, which I've read up on and I've seen some conversation about, and I'm not really entirely sure. Basically, it comes down to this question: how janky is too janky in a game? And by janky, I mean a cool little trick which is legal in the book. It's there in the book. You can do it. There's nothing saying you can't, but it may not be in flavour with the game, or like not seen as fair play or good play. What's the difference between what is what do they call it? It's playing the game to the way it's supposed to be played, or playing it strictly to the rules. The feel of the game. So what I mean is, for one, oh shit, there's got water in it. Right. So I've seen on one of the Facebook Heresy chats, that there's a bit of contention about a rule which is on page 187, and it's about the allocation of wounds. So I'll show you what they're talking about, and here, and you tell me what you think is the right or wrong thing to do, like whether it's. There's both arguments are saying, yeah, this is acceptable, or no, this is not acceptable, and it's pretty heated. So I'll show you this. All right, here we go. Let me grab this one. All right. So I've got a big unit in combat. All right. Now he's in unit in combat with a unit in coherency like this. Right, he does 10 wounds. I'll say he does 3 wounds, okay? The first wound kills this chap. And because it kills this chap, the rest of them aren't in range anymore. And it's according to the wounds, the remaining wound pools are lost. Because I didn't with this unit barge in, crowd in, at the end of it. Or he didn't crowd in any further. Kept them all spread out. So if he takes out the one, kills him, which he probably would, he's no longer in range of the others. So the remaining wound pool is lost. Now, that's sort of janky, but within the rules. And there's a lot of debate as to whether that's a good way of playing to keep the unit on the table, or whether that's fucked and you're fucked for thinking about it, and that's just retarded. Don't do it. It's going to piss people off. So the other one was, okay, you're in combat with this unit. Yeah, the combat looks like that. All right. He hits and does 2 wounds. So you go like this. All right, well, shit, he's dead. And he's dead. They're no longer in range of contact because they moved up after the charge. Do they no longer get their attacks? Because I've removed the wounded ones from the front? I don't know. I'm really not sure. It hasn't come up yet, but it seems a bit how's your father, friggin'. It sounds like a good way of winning a game. Keeping your lads on the table. Keeping them... where's that one I just finished? Keeping your lads on the table. Keeping them, viable and playing. But it seems also a little, perhaps not in the spirit of the rules. Not in the spirit of gameplay. But the same can be said for the deep strike rules, I think. I've got a unit over here. And say this unit here deep strikes. They deep strike here, they scatter to here. You put your model down, and then through the magic of coherency, you can do this. And all of a sudden, even though you weren't in charge range, you are now in charge range. Now, another one of those rules. Yes, it's in the book. You can do it, and I've seen this played like this quite a bit. So, where's the magic line between not being able to doing something janky like removing things from the front of the line so the other ones don't get an attack, to stretching out your deep strike far beyond what it was probably intended. Yeah, that was a statement. Rules as written or rules as intended. I would expect if you were to deep strike, it would be your first unit goes down, and then all units must be within 2-inch coherency of 2 other units. So you get a sort of spread like that. It's still freaking further this way, but I don't know. It was rules as intended or rules as written, and there seems to be a lot of vitriol. How's that for a word? Vitriol about whether that's a legitimate way to play the game or whether it's you're being a bit janky, a bit of a dick. Very good one on him. Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Another one is the I've seen it a few times. Hello. No, you're not allowed up. Come down. Down. Say good day to cricket. The terror of the table is using a brutal weapon against a squad, and because as far as I read it, this is how I read it. When you hit something with brutal, you've rolled to hit once, but it does a potential of 2 wounds. Now, if you're rolling against a squad and you've hit 3 times, so it means you've got brutal 2, so you roll wounds for 6. I've seen people, instead of rolling 2 saves on 2 saves, because you hit 3 times. But I've seen people roll badly and just remove 6 units. Six men. You know what I mean? So you roll, if you have 3 attacks, say it's a sergeant, 3 attacks, brutal 2. And he's fighting this squad. And he's gone, all 3 have hit, brutal 2. And I've seen, okay, so I rolled it all in a big bunch, and they all failed because, freaking instant death. So he goes, oh, okay, so the 6 wounds then, and take off 6. But he only hit 3. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. That one I can't find anything truly definitive of. But, yeah, just some things I was thinking about while I was bashing these together. These are almost ready. I'm just freaking putting the grass on them. I've run out of grass, run out of paint, I've goddamn near run out of miniatures. I get to put together these last Mark IIIs as a Nemesis Destroyer, but because I want that rad rocket launcher, and I don't want to use the standard one for the Mark VI that comes in the heavy kit, I've went and bought a packet from Forge World, which I am waiting for, of the low slung rocket launcher, the one that goes at the hip rather than over the shoulder. That's a meaty looking bit of kit, that is. So I'm waiting for them to come, but I'll still probably assemble and paint the rest of the Nemesis Destroyer. So I'll paint 8. I've decided I'm going to go buy a Rhino for them, because as of this moment, I have 2 units of 20 Tactical Marines, and seeing Tactical Marines really need to protection, and the Rhino ain't good enough. From now on, well, at least in my next battle, hopefully this Thursday, because I missed out on something epic on the weekend, this battle, they'll all go in the Spartan. Which one's looking a bit thin on the ground? There we go. So they'll all go in the Spartan, and the other one will be, just racing around the board. But yeah, there's a couple of questions for you. If anyone's got any great ideas on how to, and what do you do when you come across a argument, a disconnect between the players where they're just, no, that's not right. I can do this. You're fucking bullshit. I'm going to pack my stuff up. You pack your stuff up. Getting a bit argy-bargy. Now, I haven't seen that, but I have seen that in the like the Facebook groups. Like, if you pull this shit, you pack up your stuff and just walk out the door, or I reckon I'll go lose my crap. So yeah, I don't know. The removing the wounded ones from the table to avoid more attacks is interesting, because if that's not frowned upon, that would probably be something that I might look at actually using my own self, because that to me makes sense. Wouldn't you remove a unit like a single wounded man to avoid freaking losing a unit to an exceptionally overpowered vehicle, and to tie the vehicle up, or to tie the very meaty unit up if it's attacking? God, I'm not sure if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. Anyway, that's the long and the short of it. So like I said, I'm doing the destroyers. Finally getting some paint on this chap, although looking at what I've just done, it's too much. Christ. I've got some bits and bobs for Gilliman, so I'm going to go start that, which will be a fun little build. And yeah, everything's going swimmingly. But yeah, just some thoughts and a few quick questions. Tell me what you think. I will read the notes with genuine interest on what people's attitudes are towards those three scenarios. You know, is it a good, you know, play the rules as written, play it to the theme of the game, and if somebody does sort of what level is commonly accepted to be the theme? I mean, I've seen that deep strike trick a few times now from many people, and all right, it is rules as written, but you would imagine if they were going to deep strike, you'd deep strike in a group and not spread out to get the charge, you know, because if you think about it, you got 10 models with a 2-inch spread, you know, coherency. That's 10 inches. That makes the entire idea of scattered dice irrelevant. Anyway, just thinking out loud. I'm moseying along with these quite well, and yeah, no, that's it. Hopefully, I get a game this Thursday. I really want a game. I missed out on a Horus Heresy event on the weekend, and I saw the pictures, and it looked amazing. 10,000 points of Iron Hands and Iron Warriors and God knows what else. Oh, it looks so good. And I wasn't able to do it because my family has the cough. But all good. Life moves on. We're all healthy now, and I am ready to pursue my gaming future. Rightio, cheerio, love yous all. Take care.